is Dr. Clement Apaak. He's Member of Parliament for Bulsa South and member of the Education Committee of Parliament. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. What is the idea? Because I have seen publications suggesting that this licensure exams itself was introduced in the year 2016 when President Mahama was a president. Why is he doing a U-turn on his policy?
Well, Umaru, let me say good evening to you and good evening to listeners and good evening to the people of Muluk, because your network is listening to very vividly in both Bulsa North and South. To begin with, it is not true that the NDC had planned to introduce a stand-alone exam as a means of certifying teachers to become professionals and therefore giving a license. But it is true that the processes, even including the law that says that we ought to look at a regime towards licensing our teachers to become professionals, was one that was begun whilst we were in office, and indeed we had intended to start it, roll it out in 2017. And there's a difference. We are not opposed, and John Dramani Mahama is not opposed to licensing teachers. He's not opposed to teachers being professional. He is not opposed to adopting and following best practices. But we are opposed to the current arrangement, which is the decision, not actually backed by the Teaching Act. There's nowhere in the Act that for one to be certified as a professional teacher and licensed, one has to write a licensure exam. So it's important to distinguish or delineate between licensing teachers as professionals and saying that teachers must write an exam called licensure exam, pass, and on the basis of that, be given a license. Having said so, here is our alternative. The alternative that John Mahama is speaking about is this. Rather than saying that teacher trainees should take all these courses that they do and write all the exams that they do from year 1 to year 4 to obtain their degrees, and after that, do 1 year compulsory national service and then write a licensure exam on the basis of which you are granted a license as a professional teacher. This should be replaced by a course that will be tailored to cover all the parameters that we believe one ought to be able to achieve to become a professional teacher. And that course should be a compulsory final year course to be taken by final year students in the colleges of education, just like some of their other courses. But because this course is going to be tailored towards certifying them and giving them license as professionals, it is going to be compulsory, such that if you fail that course, you will not be given a license. You will have to resit that course, but within the context of your school. And Umaru, this does a number of things. One, it allows for the colleges or teacher training institutions to be able to design, in our thinking, a much more rigorous and robust practical way of fine-tuning these teachers towards professionalism, compared to this 3-4 hour aptitude test on numeracy, literacy, and teaching methods, and what have you. We don't believe that is the best way to do it after these young teachers have gone through all of this rigor that we are talking about. there is also a financial component to it. Remember that when they are done with the colleges of education, they have to register out of pocket to sit for the licensure. And as you continue to fail, you continue to register to write. So there's a financial cost to the students when they could have done all of this within the context of their school. Then there is also a cost to the nation. A cost to the nation because not only are we providing everything that is needed to train these young men and women to become trainers of the future of this nation, but we also give them teacher training allowances, albeit is lack of regularity. So we do all of this and we invest this much in them. And then when they finish, rather than quickly deploying them to many empty classrooms in my parts of the country, in Bachongsa, in Bedembilisi, and in places like Yarba and Doninga, we ask them to go and sit at home. We don't deploy them. And so we believe that looking at the dynamics, there is another way of doing this, which is going to be a lot more rigorous, which is going to be in-house, which is going to save the public resources because we can then deploy our teachers as soon as they pass their final year courses, including the course that is going to be tailored to make them professional. And then they don't also have to wait 1 year doing national service. And we believe that we are on the right track. And that is why we have the support of the teacher trainees and many players in the teaching fraternity.
Do you not think that you are going to lower the bar by scrapping the licensure exam? Because the licensure exams has shown to us that there is some clearing that has to be done or some cleaning that has to be done among the teacher folks?
How is that going to be the case? In fact, we think that what we are going to do is going to be much more rigorous than the current arrangement. We say so also because, let's be honest, we are told about the number of people who fail the licensure exam in and out. Many of them, myself included, have asked for the marking scheme, the grading system. Have you seen it? Have you seen the questions? Do you know the way that it is set up? So even the administration of the licensure exam itself has given people cause to complain. And you see, when we raise these very practical, cogent issues, those who are opposed to that, are they there telling us that the colleges of education are failing in preparing teachers to teach and that it is only a 2-hour exam that is going to be sufficient to test their competencies after 4 good years of taking classes and going through all of the rigorous training within the context of the colleges of education? Is that what they are trying to tell us? Then we have a bigger problem. So we should be looking at fixing the bigger problem. Is the response that I will give to them.
Very well. Thank you for speaking to us, sir.
It's a pleasure.
That's Dr. Clement Apaak. He is Member of Parliament for Bulsa South and Deputy Ranking on the Education Committee of Parliament.